Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War. Today I want to go over the top 5 infinite loop teams in the game as of November 17th, 2022. Infinite loop means you keep it on your turn as much as possible while doing damage to the enemy. So a team that can either get a bunch of extra turns in a row, well that's what it is. Basically extra turns a bunch of times in a row while dealing damage to the enemy. And now they're not supposed to be like super fast. They're almost for like mid-range, mid-level, high mid-level players. But high-level players can also use them too when they want to like have brainless, like they don't want to have to think too hard about what they're doing. They just want to loop stuff to death, and they're not looking for like the fastest possible team. They're looking for something where they're not going to lose. Loopy teams are very good at not losing, so keep it on your turn, extra turns. That's what loopy teams are. They just keep it on their turn a lot, and the other team gets very little, if any, turns. So let's go from 5 to 1, and I'm going to start with the least loopy and go to the most loopy. Now, put yours in the comments. I don't know every single infinite loop in the game, but I know 5 of them, and I'm going to show you 5 of them right now, starting with number 5. All right, the first one is one that I made up here. I call it the undefeated Flaming Oni team, and it's very good for autoplay. You can use it for other things, but it shines really in autoplay because it never loses, and it's pretty loopy. It's not the most loopy in the game. It doesn't, it's infinite, but not infinite. So that's why it's number 5. But let's show it in action here. And I'm going to try to make these loop on video. I'm not really trying to like get the battles done as quickly as possible or anything. I'm just going to try to make them loop on video. All right, so we got an extra turn here. So with this one, you got Fundingus, you got King Gobtruffle, you got Gobsticker, and you got Flaming Oni. So you have 3 troops on this team with an extra turn. So we have Fundingus, who gains an extra turn after exploding purple gems. We have King Gobtruffle, who will do damage to all enemies and create a mix of green and brown, and then get an extra turn. So that one has like 2 extra turn potential, because it could get an extra turn off the mix of green and brown, or it gets an automatic extra turn. The Gobsticker, unfortunately, doesn't, but you could also use the Norbert's Turnip or something like that, which would have an extra turn on it. I just like the Gobsticker, because I also like to make this team really summon heavy, so it's infinite loop plus summon heavy. That's why I use it for autoplay, because it never loses with all the summons and with all the extra turns on it. And it still does damage with the Gobtruffle. All right, we have Flaming Oni, who will summon 3 random goblins, then explode 50 green gems and gain an extra turn. So you see 3 of our troops get an extra turn every time they do anything. And then the weapon there gives a positive status effect to all goblins and blows up, explodes the board, and has summons on its class. We're using Thief class. All right, so we want to get a Fundingus as soon as possible here. So I'm going to try to do that. Green and red. We're on difficulty 12 Explorer, once again, if I didn't already say it. Just wanted a controlled environment. I'm not going to do this in PvP. Alright, so we explode the board. We get an extra turn, right? So it's still our turn right now. Do it again. It's still our turn right now. Still our turn, right? Always do Gobtruffle if you got it, because you're trying to do damage when you can. And it's still our turn, right? Flaming Oni. It's still our turn. Gobtruffle again. Still our turn. That's what an infinite loop is, when it's just your turn all the time. It's still our turn. Gobtruffle gets up the Oni. Cast the Oni. The enemy having no turns here. Alright, so here we go. So at this point, we're going to cast the Fundingus. And hope. Yep, there we go. Still our turn. Flaming Oni, if you play this team right, it'll never be the enemy's turn. You just have to get it going. And a lot of infinite loops are like that. You have to at least get them going before they're going to start looping. They're not just going to start infinite looping immediately. You have to at least put like a bunch of a certain color on the board, or you have to get going, you have to get the troops up, whatever. But always cast Flaming Oni if Gobtruffle's not up, and then always cast Gobtruffle, highest priority. And this is where it gets iffy when you only have Fundingus, but hopefully we get something else up. Yes, we did. Gobtruffle, Flaming Oni. Always Flaming Oni if no Gobtruffle. Here comes Gobtruffle, and bang. The enemy got like one turn there. We were infinite looping the whole matchup. You did not see the enemy take a turn there except for at the very beginning of the battle. So that's number 5. That's the 5th best infinite loop team in the game. So let me go find the 4th and I'll get back with ya. Before we move on to number 4, here is the team code for the undefeated Flaming Oni team. Mostly used for autoplay, but like you saw there, if you want to just do difficulty 12 Explorer and not lose and have an infinite loop team, here you go. There's the team code, Thief class, double. It's got the Maze banner, which got nerfed, but we're not using purple, so it's fine. And let's go to number 4. What's the 4th most loopy team in the game? Remember to put yours in the comments. I would say the Mother of Darkness Night Spider team would be my number 4 best infinite loop in the game. So let's show this one now. Same place, KZL difficulty 12 Explorer. I just picked a random kingdom, difficulty 12 Explorer. Alright, so the main thing that's going to be like infinite looping here will be the Night Spider. So you want to hurry up and get that Night Spider up. So take green, take purple. We took purple, we got the Night Spider. It creates 3 blue and 3 purple gems boosted by rogue allies. Poison a random enemy. So we have all rogue allies. Every single troop on our team is rogue, even our hero. So we will have a lot of that blue and purple spawn. So there we go. Extra turn, right? And I'm just going to... well, at this point you would cast the rope dart, which also has an extra turn. And we would target their most like dangerous enemy. So let's go... Let's make sure we don't have any extra turns first. I mean, we don't want to take any purple off the board with this team. This is one of those teams where you're trying to put as much purple on the board as possible. So I'm going to leave it like it is, I guess. And cast the rope dart. And... this is more like for PvP, not difficulty 12 Explore. Because right now we do not have... Okay, we're still our turn though, right? So here goes Night Spider. It's still our turn, right? We got this again. We're going to try to knock them in range of this Mother of Darkness. It's doing 54 true damage plus 19. That is 73. So we just have to get them down to 73 or lower. So until then, we're just going to keep looping and hitting them with the rope dart. Alright, now we can do it. That'll make a bunch of purple, get an extra turn. Alright, now we got Night Spider. Might as well do those skulls. Alright, Night Spider. Looping, still our turn. Rope dart. Hit one of their, one of the enemies that are the most dangerous. We're trying to kill it. Night Spider again, still our turn. Extra turn. Knock that into range. Bunch of purple on the board. Extra turn. Do this again. Extra turn. We got the rope dart up. Let's hit the next one. Boom. And we just need to get up the Mother of Darkness. Extra turn again. Bang. Extra turn. Rope dart. Boom. And we can just kill him off with the Captain McCall. So, once again, a little bit loopier than the undefeated Flaming Oni team there. I don't even know if the enemy got a turn on that one. I think the very first, I matched green or purple to get the Night Spider up. I think they got one turn there. So that's the 4th most loopy team in the game. Mother of Darkness, Night Spider. And I'll show you the team code right now. There it is, the 4th most loopy infinite loop in the game. Alright, here we are with the number 3 most loopy team in the game. This one can be used for brown Guild Wars, blue Guild Wars, you just have to change the weapon, or stuff like this, difficulty 12 Explorer. We have Mountain Crusher, Sycorax, Mistralis, Megavore, so the Psycho Missy team. You do have to get up the Mountain Crusher, cast it, and then you go nuts with the Sycorax and Mistralis. And as you can see, another team with multiple extra turns on it. Sycorax doubles a chosen color gem on the board, then create 3 more gems of that color, and it gives life to all allies of that color. So it's good if you can keep looping on a color that your whole team uses. Your whole team gets life. You can get your whole team up to like 1,000 HP. Mistralis deals splash damage to 1 to 4 random enemies, then jump on the board and gain an extra turn. Megavore has Death Below, which every time we do one of those extra turns, it has an 8% chance to kill the last enemy. And then Mountain Crusher is just to like get us going quickly. It's a low mana cost. It's brown to make this a brown Guild Wars team. But Elementalist here was just to... we can actually make it more loopy. Like if you're not using it in Guild Wars and you do not need Elementalist, you can change it to Titan or something and get a nice barrier and Brown Storm and everything. So let's do that. Make sure we got the Rock Solid and the Storm Aura. Yep. And we'll have a 50% start now, so it'll get up quicker than like the Elementalist. The Elementalist is just for Guild Wars. Okay, we got the double brown, blue, minus purple banner. And let's get started here. Also, you could, just to make it even better, you could put on a Medal of Anu. So let's go do that too. I want to make sure it's at the tippy-top shape. And let's get back to difficulty 12 Explore. Alright, so this is my third. I don't know if it's like the most loopy, the third most loopy. I don't know how I'm doing this list now that I'm thinking about it. Because the other two that I've already done might be more loopy than this. But once you get this one going, it's really loopy. And it's one of my favorites in the game. I call it the Psycho Mega Missy. Alright, we got a big old green extra turn here. We do need to match just a little bit of brown to get it going. We'll see. Oh, did you see that? Death Below already going off. Getting a kill. So let's get some brown now. Get the Mountain Crusher up. Let's cast it. Get up the Sycorax, right? We got a Brown Storm. Lots of brown on the board. And we're just going to go crazy with Sycorax on brown. Look at that. Like, I could just keep doing this. Watch. Like, I should cast Mistralis right now, but just to show the looping potential of this troop. Oh, Death Below. You know what I mean? Like, I could just keep doing this and get a bunch of Death Belows, a bunch of HP. Like, I got a Mistralis here that I could just cast in between. And still, I could just keep going with the Sycorax because it's so loopy. I could just try for all Death Belows if I wanted to. And I could have finished him off a minute, like, easily. Like, that's the quickest one. So, really good loopy team there. All you got to do is get up the Mountain Crusher, cast it. That should get up the Sycorax. Make a Brown Storm. You just keep casting Sycorax on brown until you get Mistralis up. Let's do one more battle since it went so fast. And this is one of my favorite teams. So that was very quick. I didn't know that it could do difficulty 12 that fast. If you get the Death Belows to trigger, it can be one of the fastest difficulty 12. Like top 5 maybe. Top 10. I'm not going to call it like one of the fastest because I've never even thought of using this for difficulty 12 Explorer. But the way it performed in that last battle just makes me think maybe. Alright, so we cast it on brown. We're just doing Mistralis here. Like, I'm going to play it the way it's supposed to be played this time instead of showing it being so loopy. Like, every time I get up Mistralis, I'm going to cast it. And actually, you cast Megavore. Hold on. Well, let's just do it this way in this battle. You can cast Megavore just to strip all their armor. That way the Mistralis can start eating into their HP quicker. And I should have done that very early in the battle instead of so late now. But could just keep trying for Death Belows if you want to. Oops. I should have casted the Missy. And, you know, sometimes you'll get a little bit off here. Like, we should probably go on green. But as long as you're casting on a color that Sycorax uses, you'll be fine. Alright, we got Mistralis. Okay. And you get rid of colors that you don't use. Like, if there's an extra turn on the board for, like, a color you don't even use, make sure you get it out of there. Just to keep the board as brown as possible. Now we can just finish that off. We win. There's different ways to play this team. You can just loop and loop and loop and loop and try for Death Belows. You can loop and loop and loop and loop and get your HP to 1,000. You can loop and loop and cast Mistralis whenever she gets up, and then loop and cast Mistralis whenever she gets up. You can get the Mountain Crusher up, get the Sycorax up, get the Megavore up, cast it early in the battle, strip all their armor, and then cast Mistralis every time she gets up while casting Sycorax. There's like 3 or 4 different ways to play this awesome team. So, yeah, this is my third favorite infinite loop in the game. Psycho Mega Missy. Let's show the team code. There you go. Remember, just get up that Mountain Crusher as quick as possible, cast it, get that Sycorax up, then cast on brown over and over and over. That'll get you Death Belows. That'll get you Mistralis up. You cast her whenever she has her spell. And then she gets an extra turn. You just go back to casting Sycorax until you get Mistralis up again. Then you cast her whenever she's up, and she gets an extra turn. You go back to casting Sycorax on brown until you get her up again, cast her, and you can cast Megavore early to strip all their armor and to make it faster. So maybe a really good difficulty 12 Explorer team that I never thought of using there. I use this in Guild Wars most of the time. But anyway, that's number 3. Let's move on to number 2. Alright, here's my second most favorite infinite loop in the game. don't even pay attention to the what's number 1 and what's number 5 and stuff. I can't decide how I'm doing this, whether it's my favorite or it's the most loopy or what. It's just 5 infinite loop teams. Like, I don't want to put them in any kind of order because I really do like the Psycho Mega Missy the most, and I don't know if this is like more loopy than that or not, but this is the classic, like, if you think of an infinite loop team, this is probably the one you were thinking of, and you probably knew this one was going to be on here, and it's just the most, like, famous infinite loop in the game, so I gave it number 2. We got Forest Troll, King Gobtruffle, Doomed Glaive. So we have Forest Troll is going to double the number of green gems on the board, then create 3 green gems. It's basically going to make tons of green and get up the Gobtruffles. Gobtruffle, we've seen him earlier, so I don't need to reiterate his spell, but yeah, extra turns and 2 of them. Then you have the Doomed Glaive, which is going to convert brown gems to Doom Skulls, and there's going to be a ton of brown on the board with the Titan class, with the Gobtruffles putting brown on there, and it also will make a, I think, Leaf Storm here somewhere. So you got brown storms, you got green storms, you make brown, you make green, there it is, Leaf, create a Leaf Storm. So really good, infinite loop. You can use this in the Underworld for Deathless. You can use it here in Difficulty 12 Explorer. It's just a really good, easy-to-get team. So first thing you want to do is match blue or brown and get that Forest Troll up. So as soon as possible, you know, we're going to get this thing up. Blue and brown, where are you at? There we go. Now we cast it. Makes a ton of green, gets an extra turn. Still my turn right now. Cast the Gobtruffle, and you got to get this one going. You got to get this one going. You got to turn the board as green and brown as possible before it'll, like, totally start looping. That's why I was kind of, like, balking on my order here. Because it is really loopy, but it does have to get going. You have to make the board as green and brown as possible. And then anytime you don't have a Gobtruffle, cast the Forest Troll. So Gobtruffle is your number 1 priority. Just keep casting it over and over as long as you have it. And then Forest Troll is your second priority if you have no Gobtruffles. And Doomed Glaive you only cast if you're, like, finishing them off or they're submerged or something like that. So, like, right now we could probably... Nope, we don't have alignment with the Glaive. I was going to say we could probably do it, but we don't... like, right now we can finish them off with it. So, yeah. One of the most famous infinite loops in the game, if nothing else. It does take a second to get going, but other than that, it's one of the best in the game, I would say. So what do you think I put at number 1? I'm sure you know. I'm sure you know. Got this green extra turn. I want to show this one more time to see if it can do a little bit better. Here we got that. Alright. Make sure you kind of look at the board in between to see if you can, like, take... Like right here, we can take these skulls out of here to make more brown and green to make sure our Gobtruffle loops. I'm going to take stuff like that out of there. Like if there's a yellow extra turn, take it out of there. If there's a red one, take it out of there. You want as much green and brown on the board as possible. But then you leave the green and brown. You don't match green and brown extra turns. You leave it there. That way it can keep looping. And you don't want to take any green off so you can do your Forest Troll. See, it's not slow or anything. Just takes a second to get it going. We can finish them off here. Bang. So, definitely one of the best infinite loops in the game. The Truffle Shuffle. It's been around a while now. I made it the best team of like 2020 or something. Because it's just so loopy, and it can help everybody get hard things done. So let's show the team code for this one. There you go. So you can also use the Warden class if you would like, and I've also used like Archer before, but those are pretty much the 3 you would use. Titan class is like the best, I would say. Warden and Archer are also pretty good for their green storms. Archer has a 50% start, so yeah, those would be the 3 I would recommend using with this team. Double blue, green, minus red. Alright, let's go check out the number 1 best infinite loop team in the game. Guess it in the comments. Also ding dong the bell, and I need y'all to please pray for somebody. I need you to please pray for 2 moms. 2 moms is now a sinner and one with the choir, so I need y'all to pray. Shout out to 2 moms for hitting the join button, the link in the description, and becoming a member. Really, really appreciate it, 2 moms, and I'm sorry I didn't get your, I missed your shout out, or I gave it to you somewhere and forgot where, But here it is anyway. Shout out to Two Moms. Really appreciate it. Thank you for reminding me. And yeah, if you want to also be a member, hit the join button. Link in the description. It really helps a lot. I really, really appreciate it. Everybody pray for the new center of the choir, Two Moms. All right, here's your number 1 infinite loop in the game of Gems of War. As of November 17th, 2022, we have Chalcedony. She came out recently, so a new troop that has become a very good infinite loop. She does take a while to, like, kill stuff because she's not like gobtruffle where she's hitting all enemies. She's not like Psycho Mega Missy where it can get, like, instant kills. Like, there's no instant kill. There's no true damage. It's hitting single target enemies, but it's probably the most loopy. It will keep it on its turn, like, over and over and over. So we have Chalcedony here, 12 brown, yellow Hellcrag, Daemon Construct. Deal damage to an enemy, then create 3 brown gems boosted by all Construct allies with a ×3 boost ratio. And our whole team is going to be Construct. So that's going to make a lot of, like, 15 or something. And then we got 2 of them just in case. And then we have Chernobog here. Conjure a Dust Storm when my turn begins. Create 10 brown gems, explode 42 gems. Mostly that Dust Storm there. The Dust Plume is what you use that for. And then we have the Watchful Blade, which does red and brown for each Hellcrag ally. Our whole team is Hellcrag, so that's a bunch more brown just in case. And also using the Geomancer class to make our team all Construct. So, and 50% start for everybody on the team. So let's go check this one out in action. The number 1 infinite loop in the game, I guess. So here, we just need to get up Chalcedony. There we go, and we should be Loop City now. Like, look how much it does. They, like, almost need to, nerf this. And if you want to play it super careful, make sure you're looking to see if there's other colors you can take off the board that aren't brown. Just to make sure, like that green up there I could have took, just to put even more brown on the board. But it depends how quick you're going and if you care. Because it can pretty much just keep going even without doing that. And you don't even really need 2 of them. It's just for, you know, just in case type stuff. You don't even really need 2 of them. Like, that board kind of looks, eh. We still got it. You pretty much use nothing else on this team. I mean, your hero's making it so you're getting that 50% start. The Chernobog's giving you that Dust Storm. So they are doing things, but you're never going to cast them. If it's going correctly, you're never going to cast anything but the first Chalcedony, really. And even if we miss, we have that second Chalcedony. And, yeah, the enemy hasn't got 1 turn yet, I don't think. So that's why I called this the number 1 infinite loop in the game. It's just like it's the slowest, too. If you're doing stuff like this, you got to cast, like, 5 times on each enemy. So we're casting this, like, at least 20 times or something crazy, so... But yeah, that is the most loopy infinite loop in the game. Let's show the team code. And put yours below, because I'm sure I missed some. It's just I wanted a nice round number of 5. Like, I could probably think of at least 1 or 2 more. Yeah, put yours in the comments. That's what that's for. That's why I didn't do all of them. That way you can put some in the comments. And just for a nice round number of the top 5 infinite loops in the game. Like, I could probably think of 1 or 2 or 3 more, but I didn't want to put the top 6 or top 7 or top 8. So, top 5 infinite loops in the game of Gems of War. And, yeah, I hope you guys learned something. At least one of these you didn't know about, I'm sure, I hope. Let me know in the comments. Did you know about the undefeated Flaming Oni? Did you know about the Psycho Mega Missy? I'm sure you knew about the other 3, but I think those 2 might be the biggest case of maybe you not knowing about them. But, yeah, that is it for today. 5 top infinite loops in the game as of November 17th, 2022. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot. Tell your guild about the channel. Comment below, and I will see y'all next time. Ding dong that bell. Peace.